Shocking Cowboys trade update incoming. Reports reveal if it happens. These are the top landing spots. Now, I want to say, I have no fear, Cowboys Nation, because for the moment, Micah Parsons is still here. But this is getting out of hand. This is getting really out of hand. Welcome back. Welcome back to Cowboys Digest. My name is Tyree Allison. We appreciate you checking in. As always, Cowboys Nation, I know it's hard. I know it is. I know this is a tough time for us right now. Really quick, as always, before we get started, 81% of you watching are not subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button. It is 100% free, and as always, this is your number one source for everything Dallas Cowboys. Now, before we get too deep into this article, I kind of want to say it because I've doing my own research, and just kind of looking around. I honestly believe, and I've heard some analytics, some analytic people say this as well on the different networks. If Jerry Jones actually did have conversations with Micah Parsons in regards to his contract, and vice versa, back and forth, the NFLPA technically they say would be all over this, and they're not. When I say there's something going on the back end that we just don't know. I mean, we just don't know because of all the research, all the things I'm sure that us as Cowboys Nation have been digging into and looking at, the NFLPA would 100% be actively looking into this situation if this were all true and accurate, opposed to theatricality and deception. Not to be all Dark Knight referencey, but obviously, the last thing we want to do is see, a guy like Micah Parsons obviously end up anywhere in the NFC East, which it's not going to happen, or anywhere, any NFC at all, like the 49ers. You don't want to see him go anywhere in the NFC. If you saw him go anywhere, if we had to, we would obviously choose, for it to be the AFC, excuse me. So that being said, this article says 3 Micah Parsons trade destinations Dallas Cowboys fans wouldn't hate. Now, use that term wouldn't hate lightly because, I think as a whole, and I don't speak for all of Cowboys Nation, but I think I speak for majority of us when I say we don't want to see Micah Parsons get traded. And when I say majority, I'm going to say about 98%. I'm going to throw a 2% out there. Maybe 2% don't care. But I guess we'll see. Let me know in the comments. So going into this article, the first team we have is the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, obviously, you putting him, Crosby, that would be insane. And the Raiders are obviously building. In the article, it says the Raiders are a team that is searching for a new identity under first-year head coach Pete Carroll, and is also one that could use some serious help on the defensive side of the ball. Pairing Parsons with a player like Max Crosby on the edge would give the Raiders a deadly pass rush in a division full of elite quarterback play. The Raiders also have plenty of cap space to sign Parsons as well as making it an easy match. So the Raiders are a funny kind of, that's like the needle in the haystack team. Like if he was to go to the Raiders, that means the Raiders belly up. The Raiders got to belly up somebody, and honestly, he probably doesn't go to the Raiders without us at least getting like Max Crosby and then like a first or 2 firsts or 3 firsts. If you've seen the video I did a while back, I really kind of wasn't joking. Micah Parsons is the kind of player that goes for like 4 first-round picks, 3 thirds, 2 thirds, 3 seconds, 2 thirds, and a fourth. Like he goes for he is a high market value player. You don't get a guy like him. He's once in a generation. So he goes for everything. I don't foresee him ever going to the Raiders, but this is an interesting proposal that they had on there. The Bills, this is a little bit more practical, and the article went to read. It's not a stretch to say that most Cowboys fans would love to see Parsons get his chance to win a Super Bowl. We would, but we obviously want to see that with the Cowboys. And there might not be a trade partner that would be better suited for that than the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, this deal would not come without its complications, as the Bills don't have enough space to pay Parsons long-term at the moment, but it would give them an inside track to finally knock off the Kansas City Chiefs, because we all know Patrick Mahomes is Josh Allen's kryptonite. His defense, I guess you can say they let him down a couple of times, but at the end of the day, if he ended up a Buffalo Bill, let me know what you think, Cowboys Nation. If he just so happened to end up a Buffalo Bill, That would actually be real dangerous. That'd be dangerous from a couple standpoints. The biggest being, that instantly puts them in that Super Bowl contender spot, and they're already there along with the quarterback and running back combination that they got. Yet alone, you had a guy like Micah Parsons. I would not want to see him go to Buffalo, but I do agree with this part of the article. If he did go there, that would bump his chances to winning a Super Bowl astronomically than any other team. And the last team that it has on here, and it's not too far-fetched with a team like this, and especially a coach like Harbaugh, is the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I thought this part of the article was actually really interesting when you think about the personality that Micah Parsons is, what he's brought to this organization, all the way around. This is really interesting. So it says, what better way for Micah Parsons to make his exit from the Cowboys than by heading to Los Angeles to play with the Chargers? Not only does it get Parsons out of the AFC, but the marketing media opportunities for him would be limitless. He would instantly be the star of the Chargers defense, as well as pairing with Khalil Mack in the pass rush. They would be dogs. They would definitely be dogs. The rest of it goes to say, on top of all that, the Cowboys could get a nice haul in return for him, as LA has plenty of draft capital. Maybe they could even get a much-needed running back like Najee Harris out the deal. Let's wait on something like that. We don't need to do no exchanging for a running back when we got what I believe is going to be a pretty all right running back room with an exception to Sanders. I think the guys we got, Phil Maffa, Jaden Blue, and Javonte Williams, I think those are going to be the top three. Those are going to be our guys, and Jaden Blue is going to be nice. So no, we don't want to see that. But going back to it, the Chargers, the Bills, Raiders. Let me know in the comments who would you, if we had to pick, Cowboys Nation, if we had to pick, who? Personally, I mean, because I do kind of agree with this article as far as him being a Bill. I'd rather see it be the Bills, because we all know that the Chiefs are the team to beat when it comes down to the AFC. And it would be a nice change up, to not see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, what feels like, every year after year after year. Maybe we see the Bills year after year after year. If something like that were to happen. But again, we don't want that, Cowboys Nation. We don't want that at all. We need Jerry Jones to get with the situation. But again, as I've said, the NFLPA would be all over this if that were really what's holding this up, opposed to Jerry just being the marketing genius that he is. I mean, this guy said it's a soap opera 24/7. And when there's no drama, he's going to stir up drama. That's the type of owner that we got, Cowboys Nation. That's who he is. So, I mean, again, I think this is him, mass marketing. He's trying to get all the money that he can in the system before he puts out a huge chunk of money. Because, again, Micah Parsons, when he gets paid, you're going to be looking to see him somewhere. It's a 4 or 5 year deal, maybe even a 6, probably around $45 million a year with a 180 to 190 guaranteed and about probably an 80 million to 85 million signing bonus. It could be 70, 80, 85. It's going to be huge signing bonus. He's going to reset the market for sure and be the highest paid non-quarterback when it does happen. But again, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments, Cowboys Nation, if we had to pick and send him somewhere for a haul, a super haul. And let me say that to get more clear, because again, my idea of a super haul is 4 first-round picks, 3 second rounds, 2 thirds, and a 4th. That's not impractical to me as a Cowboys fan, given what they did with the Herschel Walker trade. And if you have not seen that Netflix documentary, what is called The Gambler, and his Cowboys, definitely go check that out, because it gives all of us Cowboys Nation just the insider on how he made shake what he did, and the type of value you can get out of having a great player if you do make that trade. Now, what he did back in the day is not something that you be able to pull off today. You just got to pull it off for the straightforward, these are the picks, and Micah Parsons are worth all the picks as a bowl haul goes. But again, I don't want to see him go. I think he's going to get the contract. And honestly, I think he's going to get the contract somewhere around after the last preseason game. Maybe it was even almost a tactic to keep him out the pads and off the field all this time so that his body doesn't get banged up. Because Micah Parsons, he can be like that sometimes. When he starts getting banged up a little bit in practice and whatnot, move a little slower. We've seen it, but we don't hate it. He's still a dog. So again, I think all this is playing a part in everything. And I think we need to just be sitting back. Let's be patient. Let's, keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the fingers crossed. Everything. And let me know what you think in the comments. This has been Cowboys Digest, and we'll see you next time.